The ratio of strengths of solid to hollow shafts, both having outside diameter d and hollow having inside diameter d2, in torsion, is a quarter, b a half, c 1/16, d 15/16. The correct answer is 15/16. The weakest section of a diamond riveting is the section which passes through a first row, b second row, c central row, d one rivet hole of end row. The correct answer is first row. In a loaded beam, the point of con-traflexture occurs at a section where a bending moment is minimum, b bending moment is 0 or changes sign, c bending moment is maximum, d shearing force is maximum. The correct answer is bending moment is 0 or changes sign. A three-hinged arch is said to be a statically determinate structure, b statically indeterminate structure, c a bent beam, d none of these. The correct answer is statically determinate structure. The shape of the bending moment diagram over the length of a beam, having no external load, is always a linear, b parabolic, c cubical, d circular. The correct answer is linear. A beam of length L is pinned at both ends and is subjected to a concentrated bending couple of moment M at its center. The maximum bending moment in the beam is AM, B M2, C M3, D ML2. The correct answer is M. If two forces acting at a joint are not along the straight line, then for the equilibrium of the joint, A one of the forces must be 0. B each force must be 0. C forces must be equal and of the same sign. D forces must be equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. The correct answer is each force must be 0. If the shear force along a section of a beam is 0, the bending moment at the section is A0, B maximum, C minimum, D average of maximum minimum. The correct answer is maximum. In the cantilever truss as shown in below figure, the horizontal component of the reaction at A is A 30 tons, B 60 tons, C 90 tons, D 120 tons. The correct answer is 30 tons. The shape of the bending moment diagram over the length of a beam, carrying a uniformly distributed load is always A linear, B parabolic, C cubical, D circular. The correct answer is parabolic. The minimum number of rivets for the connection of a gusset plate is A1, B2, C3, D4. The correct answer is 2. The slenderness ratio of a vertical column of a square cross-section of 2.5 cm sides and 300 cm length is A 200, B 240, C 360, D 416. The correct answer is 416. A rectangular beam 20 cm wide is subjected to a maximum shearing force of 10,000 kg, the corresponding maximum shearing stress being 30 kg per centimeter 2. The depth of the beam is A 15 cm, B 20 cm, C 25 cm, D 30 cm. The correct answer is 25 cm. The maximum twisting moment a shaft can resist is the product of the permissible shear stress and A moment of inertia, B polar moment of inertia, C polar modulus, D modulus of rigidity. The correct answer is polar modulus. For a simply supported beam with a central load, the bending moment is A. least at the center, B. least at the supports, C. maximum at the supports, D. maximum at the center. The correct answer is maximum at the center. For a given material, Young's modulus is 200 G and M2 and modulus of rigidity is 80 G and M2. The value of Poissons ratio is A. 0.15, B. 0.20, C. 0.25, D. 0.30. The correct answer is 0.25. The ratio of the moment of inertia of a circular plate and that of a square plate for equal depth is A. less than 1, B. equal to 1, C. more than 1, D. equal to 3/16. The correct answer is equal to 3/16. The force in member U2 L2 of the truss shown in below figure is A. 10T tension, B. 10T compression, C. 0, D. 15T compression. The correct answer is 10T compression. If the width of a simply supported beam carrying an isolated load at its center is doubled, the deflection of the beam at the center is changed by A. a half, B. 1/8, C. 2, D. 8. The correct answer is a half. For a simply supported beam of length L, the bending moment M is described as M is equal to AX, X3 L2, 0, X, L, where A is a constant. The shear force will be 0 at other supports. Bx is equal to L2, Cx is equal to L3, Dx is equal to L3. The correct answer is X is equal to L3. The deflection of any rectangular beam simply supported is A. directly proportional to its weight, B. inversely proportional to its width, C. inversely proportional to the cube of its depth, D. directly proportional to the cube of its length. The correct answer is inversely proportional to the cube of its depth. If a rectangular beam measuring 10 x 18 by 400 cm carries an uniformly distributed load such that the bending stress developed is 100 kg per centimeter 2, the intensity of the load per meter length is A. 240 kg, B. 250 kg, C. 260 kg, D. 270 kg. The correct answer is 270 kg. Influence lines are drawn for structures A. of any type, B. statically determinate, C. pin-jointed truss, D. none of these. The correct answer is of any type. A shaft turning 150 rpm is subjected to a torque of 150 kgm. Horsepower transmitted by the shaft is A. B. 10, C. 2, D. 1. The correct answer is 10. A simply supported beam carrying a uniformly distributed load over its whole span is propped at the center of the span so that the beam is held to the level of the end supports. The reaction of the prop will be A. half the distributed load, B. 3/8 at the distributed load, C. 5/8 at the distributed load, D. distributed load. The correct answer is 5/8 at the distributed load. The range within which a load can be applied on a rectangular column, to avoid any tensile stress, is A. 1/2 of the base, B. 1/3 of the base, C. 1/4 of the base, D. 1/5 of the base. The correct answer is 1/3 of the base. In a beam, the neutral plane, A may be its center, B passes through the CG of the area of cross-section, C does not change during deformation, D none of these. The correct answer is does not change during deformation. When loads are applied proportionately to a frame structure containing its members in one plane, the structure is called A. Grid frame, B. Plane frame, C. Space frame, D. Truss frame. The correct answer is plane frame. The shear stress at any section of a shaft is maximum: A. At the center of the section, B. At a distance r2 from the center, C. At the top of the surface, D. At a distance 3/4 r from the center. The correct answer is at the top of the surface. The region of the cross-section of a column in which compressive load may be applied without producing any tensile stress is known as the core of the cross-section. In circular columns, the radius of the core is A. 1/2 of the radius, B. 1/3 of the radius, C. 1/4 of the radius, D. 1/5 of the radius. The correct answer is 1/4 of the radius. A beam is said to be of uniform strength if r.p.m is same throughout the beam, B. deflection is same throughout the beam, C. bending stress is same throughout the beam, D. shear stress is same throughout the beam. The correct answer is bending stress is same throughout the beam. In a tension test, the yield stress is 300 kg per centimeter 2. In the octahedral, shear stress at the point is A. 102 kg per centimeter 2, B. 152 kg per centimeter 2, C. 202 kg per centimeter, D. 252 kg per centimeter 2. The correct answer is 102 kg per centimeter 2. The radius of gyration of a rectangular section is not proportional to A. square root of the moment of inertia, B. square root of the inverse of the area, C. square root of the moment of inertia divided by area of the section, D. none of these. The correct answer is none of these. A reinforced concrete beam is assumed to be made of A. homogeneous material, B. heterogeneous material, C. isotropic material, D. none of these. The correct answer is heterogeneous material. If the rivets in adjacent rows are staggered and outermost row has only one rivet, the arrangement of the rivets is called A. chain riveting, B. zigzag riveting, C. diamond riveting, D. none of these. The correct answer is diamond riveting. The force in dB of the truss shown in below figure is A. 3 watts compression, B. W tension, C. 2 watts compression, D. 5 watts tension. The correct answer is W tension. Strain energy is the A. energy stored in a body when strained within elastic limits, B. energy stored in a body when strained up to the breaking of a specimen, C. maximum strain energy which can be stored in a body, D. proof resilience per unit volume of a material. The correct answer is energy stored in a body when strained within elastic limits. A vertical column has two moments of inertia Ixx and Iyy. The column will tend to buckle in the direction of the A. axis of load, B. perpendicular to the axis of load, C. maximum moment of inertia, D. minimum moment of inertia. The correct answer is minimum moment of inertia. The neutral axis of the cross-section a beam is that axis at which the bending stress is A. 0, B. minimum, C. maximum, D. infinity. The correct answer is 0. Euler's formula holds good only for A. short columns, B. long columns, C. both short and long columns, D. weak columns. The correct answer is long columns. The object of caulking in a riveted joint is to make the joint A. Free from corrosion, B. Stronger in tension, C. Free from stresses, D. Leak-proof. The correct answer is leak-proof. A steel bar of 5 mm is heated from 15 degrees C to 40 degrees C and it is free to expand. The bar will induce A. No stress, B. Shear stress, C. Tensile stress, D. Compressive stress. The correct answer is no stress. A body is subjected to a tensile stress of 1200 MPa on one plane and another tensile stress of 600 MPa on a plane at right angles to the former. It is also subjected to a shear stress of 400 MPa on the same planes. The maximum normal stress will be A. 400 MPa, B. 500 MPa, C. 900 MPa, D. 1400 MPa. The correct answer is 1400 MPa. Two shafts A and B transmit the same power. The speed of shaft A is 250 rpm and that of shaft B is 300 rpm. The shaft B has the greater diameter. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is false. The stress induced in a body, when suddenly loaded, is dash, 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 dash. The stress induced when the same load is applied gradually. A equal to B 1/2, C twice, D 4 times. The correct answer is twice. For a beam, as shown in the below figure, the maximum deflection is A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is false. If the slenderness ratio for a column is 100, then it is said to be a dash, 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 dash column, A. Long, B. Medium, C. Short, D. The correct answer is long. A masonry dam may fail due to A. Tension in the masonry of the dam and its base, B. Overturning of the dam, C. Crushing of masonry at the base of the dam, D. Any one of the above. The correct answer is any one of the above. In order to prevent crushing of masonry at the base of the dam, the maximum stress should be dash, 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 dash. The permissible stress of the soil, A equal to B less than, C more than, D. The correct answer is less than. When a body is subjected to two equal and opposite pushes, as a result of which the body tends to reduce its length, the stress and strain induced is compressive. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is true. The bending moment at a point on a beam is the algebraic dash, 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 dash of all the moments on either side of the point. A sum, B difference, C, D. The correct answer is sum. The maximum diameter of the hole that can be punched from a plate of maximum shear stress a quarter-eighth of its maximum crushing stress of punch, is equal to where T is equal to thickness of the plate. A T, B 2T, C 4T, D 8T. The correct answer is 4T. Two closely coiled helical springs A and B are equal in all respects, but the number of turns of spring A is half that of spring B. The ratio of deflections in spring A to spring B is A 1/8, B a quarter, C a half, D 2. The correct answer is a half. The deformation per unit length is called A tensile stress, B compressive stress, C shear stress, D. Strain. The correct answer is strain. In the torsion equation, the term Jr is called A. Shear modulus, B. Section modulus, C. Polar modulus, D. None of these. The correct answer is polar modulus. Strain resetters are used to A. Measure shear strain, B. Measure linear strain, C. Measure volumetric strain, D. Relieve strain. The correct answer is measure linear strain. The torque transmitted by a solid shaft of diameter d is where is equal to maximum allowable shear stress Ax, xd3, Bx, xd3, Cx, xd3, Dx, xd3. The correct answer is x, xd3. When a rectangular beam is loaded transversely, the maximum compressive stress is developed on the A. top layer, B. bottom layer, C. neutral axis, D. every cross section. The correct answer is bottom layer. The point of con-traflexure is a point where A. shear force changes sign, B. bending moment changes sign, C. shear force is maximum, D. bending moment is maximum. The correct answer is bending moment changes sign. The simply supported beam A of length L carries a central point load W. Another beam B is loaded with a uniformly distributed load such that the total load on the beam is W. The ratio of maximum deflections between beams A and B is A 5/8, B 8/5, C 5/4, D 4/5. The correct answer is 8/5. The maximum stress produced in a bar of tapering section is at A. smaller end, B. larger end, C. middle, D. anywhere. The correct answer is smaller end. The energy stored in a body when strained within elastic limit is known as A. resilience, B. proof resilience, C. strain energy, D. impact energy. The correct answer is strain energy. In compression test, the fracture in cast iron specimen would occur along A. the axis of load, B. an oblique plane, C. at right angles to the axis of specimen, D. would not occur. The correct answer is an oblique plane. The bending stress in a beam is dash, 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 dash. Section modulus. A. directly proportional to, B. inversely proportional to, C. D. The correct answer is inversely proportional to. When shear force at a point is 0, then bending moment is dash, 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 dash. At that point, A 0, B minimum, C maximum, D infinity. The correct answer is maximum. When a bar is cooled to 5 degrees Celsius, it will develop A. no stress, B. shear stress, C. tensile stress, D. compressive stress. The correct answer is tensile stress. The limit of eccentricity is based upon no tension condition. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. In order to know whether a column is long or short, we must know its slenderness ratio. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. Resilience is the A. energy stored in a body when strained within elastic limits, B. energy stored in a body when strained up to the breaking of the specimen, C. maximum strain energy which can be stored in a body, D. none of the above. The correct answer is none of the above. If the depth is kept constant for a beam of uniform strength, then its width will vary in proportional to where m is equal to bending moment. A.m. B.m. C.m2. D.m3. The correct answer is M. A concentrated load is one which A. acts at a point on a beam, B. spreads non-uniformly over the whole length of a beam, C. spreads uniformly over the whole length of a beam, D. varies uniformly over the whole length of a beam. The correct answer is acts at a point on a beam. If the tearing efficiency of a riveted joint is 50%, then ratio of rivet hole diameter to the pitch of rivets is A 0.20, B 0.30, C 0.50, D 0.60. The correct answer is 0.50. The rectangular beam A has length L, width P and depth D. Another beam B has the same length and depth but width is double that of A. The elastic strength of beam B will be dash, 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 as compared to beam A. A same, B double, C 4 times, D 6 times. The correct answer is double. In a simple bending of beams, the stress in the beam varies. A linearly, B parabolically, C hyperbolically, D elliptically. The correct answer is linearly. A beam supported at its both ends is not a simply supported beam. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. The stress at which the extension of the material takes place more quickly as compared to the increase in load is called A. elastic limit, B. yield point, C. ultimate point, D. breaking point. The correct answer is yield point. The strain energy stored in a solid circular shaft subjected to shear stress is where C is equal to modulus of rigidity for the shaft material. A. X volume of shaft, B. X volume of shaft, C. X volume of shaft, D. X volume of shaft. The correct answer is X volume of shaft. When two main plates are kept in alignment butting each other and riveted with cover plate on both sides of the main plates with 2 rows of rivets in each main plate, the joint is known as dash, 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 double cover butt joint. A. single riveted, B. double riveted, C, D. The correct answer is double riveted. Whenever a material is loaded within elastic limit, stress is dash, 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 dash. Strain A equal to B directly proportional to C inversely proportional to D. The correct answer is directly proportional to. Which of the following statement is correct? A. The energy stored in a body when strained within elastic limit is known as strain energy. B. The maximum strain energy which can be stored in a body is termed as proof resilience. C. The proof resilience per unit volume of a material is known as modulus of resilience. D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above.